I just found one of my books that I used to read to the children. I haven't seen it for a long time. It's all about days on the farm and it's lovely. It's all about a little farm dog, a little sheepdog called Floss. Floss was a young border collie who belonged to an old man in the town. She walked with the old man in the streets and loved playing ball with the children in the park. Look, this is a dog that lives on a farm. Very important. My son is a farmer, the old man told Floss. He has a sheepdog who is too old to work. He needs a young dog like you, Floss, to herd sheep in his farm. He could train a border collie just like you. That's exciting. So Floss and the old man travelled away from the town with the streets and houses and children playing in the park. They came to the heather-covered hills of a valley where nothing grew except sheep. Look at all the sheep in the hills, right out in the countryside. Somewhere in her memory, Floss knew about sheep. Old Nell soon showed her how to round them up. The farmer had trained her to run wide and lie down, to walk on behind, to shed, to pen. She worked very hard to become a very good sheepdog. Sheepdogs are the most important dogs, I think. But sometimes Floss woke up at night while Nell lay sound asleep. She remembered about playing with the children and rounding up the balls in the park. She's thinking about them. The farmer took Floss on the hill one day to see if she could gather the sheep on her own. She was rounding them up when she heard a sound. At the edge of the field, the farmer's children were playing with a brand new black and white ball. Oh my goodness, what's she going to do? Wow, Floss remembered all about the children, so she ran to play with their ball. She showed off her best tricks, her best passes, and she did her best springs in the air. Hey, Dad, look at this, yelled the children. Look at Floss. The sheep started to drift away. Oh my goodness, she's forgotten about the sheep. Oh no, the sheep escaped through the gate and into the yard. There were sheep in the garden and the sheep in the road. Floss, lie down. The farmer's voice was like thunder. You are meant to work on this farm, not to play, said the farmer, and he took Floss back to the dog's house. Floss was sad, very sad. Floss lay and worried in her cage, all about balls and sheep. She dreamt about the streets of the town, the hills of the valley, the children and the farmers all mixed together, while Nell had to round up the straying sheep. I think Floss was still quite young, but Nell was too old to work every day, and Floss had to learn to take her place. She worked so hard to gather the sheep well, she was much too tired to dream anymore, and the farmer was very pleased and ran Floss in the dog trials. She's a very good worker now, they said. The children still wanted to play with their ball. Hey, Dad, they asked, can old Nell play now? But Nell did not know how to play with the children. No one can play ball like Floss, they said. Go on then, the farmer said to Floss, and the children kicked the ball high in the air. Oh, great. Floss remembered all about the children. She ran to play with the ball. She showed off her tricks, her best nose tricks, her best passes. She did her best springs in the air. She was happy again. And that is the end of the story. I'll read the next part another day about farms.